Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Thursday, February 19th, and so far we are getting more and more and more slop, 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 slop. Nothing has really fallen apart. I was waiting for it here and going into the afternoon. Looked to me like they were really working that lower edge. So far it like was they have one, two, we have one, two, three times to the level, and then the third time did not take it out. So yeah, someone's going to cover that thing. And as they started trading higher, that was the best opportunity I've seen, at least at the times I've been watching the screen. I did take that trade on the Nasdaq a little bit late on that entry. I got in, nice break-even trade going there. They stopped me out, and that was it. Yeah, it's to pull back. If I got in a little bit better, probably would have stopped me out anyway. But chances are I would have taken profit a little bit earlier. But yeah, it's just sloppy. So anyway, I was expecting this one to run up to the tab and maybe the mean, but yeah, there's no follow through on anything. It's just back and forth and then grinding the crap out of it. So the ES we started off this morning range bound. We were looking for these 68 50s, 40s, and 30s. Those three support areas. If that came out, we would be more aggressive on the short side. Same for in the last update the afternoon. If they take out that 50s, we're going to be more aggressive. So far, they have not done it. We are back range bound. It looks to me like they're getting maybe even getting a little bit of strength going into the close here. So they're not taking it lower, that's for sure. Nasdaq, same story there. They've been flirting with that 760s. Are not taking out the low at the 700s, and I think we had the 670s in there as well this morning, but neither of them has really taken out the lows and extended to the downside by any means. But though it's been on the weekend of things, it hasn't really been a very strong session. So sloppy session back and forth. We're right back to value on the ES. You can see the capital flow here. We're right back in the middle of value, 68, 65, and chances are we're going to be closing around about that area as well. Now going into tomorrow's trading. We have a ton of stuff going on. We got the first GDP read coming out at 8:30. We also have the personal income number, the PCE index. So we have both the GDP and an inflation read. At 9:45, we get PMI composite. And at 10 o'clock, we get new home sales and consumer sentiment. So we got a lot of news coming out tomorrow. So it could be an interesting day. But today's trading is kind of right off as a sloppy, range-bound trading day. There is opportunities in a day like this. Just had to be very, very patient about it. I did take one Nasdaq trade. You saw that one right there. That was on the way back up here. So this was like one, two, third time to the level. Nice retest failure. It was slopping back and forth, and then finally start taking out the high here, started extending. And I figured, okay, good shot at least try along for a rotation back to the mean. And I got in a little bit late. They still had enough to go to break even, but then you see they just kind of worked themselves down and grinding down there. So I just got 50 cent. Even got skidded three ticks on that one because I have a three. Where did I go to? I go to +3, right? So it should be $1.50. I have 50 cents there. So that didn't work too good. But anyway, so that's where we are going into the overnight. I would just start off flat out range bound on both the ES and Nasdaq and look to sell strength, buy weakness, same levels. And you're going to adjust them a little bit going into tomorrow, but it's going to be pretty similar levels as today. So that's one trade on the Nasdaq. I did take a bond trade though. I had to show you that one. The bond market set up. I clicked in my order as I said I would. So here we had the setup here. The last update we were trading run about here. A few bars were building. Well, we got it. We got a tick higher than the backed off a couple of bars, and I figured that okay, this could be one of those like just a fake out to the upside ticks. So I got out of that thing. I clicked in my order here at the 23s. I got filled. They ticked up one more tick, and they asked an unfinished auction, but one tick higher. I could have gotten one tick better fill. And then I sat in that thing for a good 15, 20 minutes or 20 minutes. And then we had a nice rotation down. And this one here, I had a good four tradable ticks on that one. I had I clicked in my target here at the 16s, but then it just stalled. So I moved my target up here to 16 or to 18, try to get it right at the level. But you see, there's all 87 contracts traded there, and they would not fill me. And then I saw this thing grind back up again. I had my stop at break even +1. And you can see how they grinded up here. They stopped me out with one tick, so $31. I could have gotten 125. But then again, it's like annoying when it does that. So sometimes you get this, and then you just get a steady grind down. And that's kind of what I was counting on. But no, they burst it down. and then they slowly has worked themselves back up all the way up here to the 23s again. So that would have been a break even plus zero trade if I had sat in that trade. So I got down tick out of it anyway. And now then haven't really moved anywhere. So you're sitting here right at 22, 23. So you got maybe one tradable tick right now if you want it. So far nothing has happened on it. So, but I got at least a tick out of it. So, and that's the kind of setup I'm looking for. And I'm looking for a bigger rotation. And when it does this stuff, I think depending on how fast this drop happens, because it happened pretty quick, was that it was literally as the idea knocked it down. I mean, you probably should just get out quickly there instead of waiting for continuation, because it's most of the time you've seen it, it kind of doesn't happen, just kind of stalls and then starts retracing. And the times it really starts drifting lower, it starts trade. It doesn't drop that quickly. So I think that's going to be the differentiator going forward on that. But anyway, so one tick on the bonds, tick on the Nasdaq, and then right now I'm not engaging it any further. Just for information, I have been trading up a storm on Coinbase, so I have that integration working now when it comes to order entry and stuff. So I'm trading Bitcoin, Nano futures, Ethereum, Nano futures, and you trade them exactly the same way. They're futures contracts, so in and out, long, short, whatever you want. And margining is a little bit different. It's a little bit of a different animal than the CME, how it works. But it's interesting. So eventually I'm going to get that thing rolled out here. But right now I'm working on a data solution to get the backfill working, because there is no backfill at Coinbase. So I had to build that solution. So anyway, so I've got a little bit of work to do, but I thought I would share that, a bit of order entry on Coinbase. And that's just a native integration. So you don't have any data fees. You just have a Coinbase account. The margin, the round turns. I think for one contract on the per side is like 47 cents. And it depends on what tier you're in. You get better rates the better tier you're in. But I'm in a middle tier. So I ended up with I get like 47 cents per side plus 15 cents for exchange fees. So I said about 55, 60 cents a side for one contract. So that's it's a little bit expensive if you look at the payout on the contracts, but it is interesting. So it's and they get good, data fees or nothing like that. So, but anyway, we'll leave it there. So range bound trading on the ES and Nasdaq, going into the overnight. We have a lot of news tomorrow. I just took one trade on the bonds, one trade on the Nasdaq today. Trying to be measured, trying not to get too engaged and too high frequency trading in and out, because that just get you caught. But anyway, we'll leave it there, guys. I'll see you back in the morning, and see how that news is going to drive the market for tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning. Have a good evening. Later.